Hey, what's up guys? It's time for another video. For today's video, I want to run through an Excel tutorial on how to use the formula SUMIF. This is a great function if you really want to sum up the values in a range that meet a certain criteria that you specify. For this tutorial, I'll be running examples from two different data sets. The first data set is from the Ontario government, which shows the names, positions, salaries, and taxable benefits paid to public sector employees earning over $100,000. The second is from TD Bank, showing quarterly dividends paid from 1969 all the way to 2020. For my Excel tutorials, I'm going to try and show examples from real-world data to better show how you guys can extract value from your own data sets. I find sometimes using made-up data doesn't really deliver what you can do with these Excel functions. And as a side note, all data used in this tutorial is open source, meaning anyone with internet can access this data, and I'll leave links in the description so you guys can check out the data for yourselves. So let's get into it. Okay, so I have my data from the Ontario government that they've made public. As you can see, I have various different sets of information all the way from the sector, names, salary, employers, job titles, and the calendar year in which the salary was paid. So for my first example, let's say I want to sum up all the salaries paid to anyone with a first name Steve. To begin, I would click into my cell in which I want the data, hit equals, and type in SUMIF. Hit tab to open the bracket, and first it's asking for the range. What's the range I'm looking to set my criteria for? So in this case, my range is the first name. So I'm going to select on column C to select my range. Now, what is my criteria? I'm looking for anyone with the name Steve to see how much they're getting paid in total. So let's go ahead and type in Steve. Because I'm using a name, you have to use double quotations, otherwise Excel will not be able to process the formula. The next piece you want is your range. In this case, it's my salary. And that's really it. Just three criteria, and if I hit enter, and you'll see anyone with the first name Steve was paid a total of $43.8 million in salary in 2019. Now, for my next example, let's take a look at column A, the sector. I want to sum all the sectors that have school boards and see how much the school board spent on total salary. So to do this, I can again type in my formula, or I can take a shortcut because I've already typed it in the first time. I'm going to go in here, copy, paste the formula, and just go ahead and edit the data. So in this case, instead of using first name, what I want is the sector. I still want salaries because that's what I'm trying to sum up. But instead of Steve, what I want is school boards. There you go. So you can see in 2019, the school board sector paid out over $3.1 billion in salaries. But what if I don't want to specify a name? I want to specify the amount of salary that individuals earned that was over $150,000. So in order to do this again, hit equals, SUMIF, open my bracket, and I'm going to select my range, which is again, in this case, because my criteria range and my sum range are the same, I'm going to specify column D for both. Now, my criteria is going to be double quotes, greater than, double quotes, ampersand, 150,000. Next, again, my sum range is again D to D, close bracket. And there you go. So the total salaries paid to individuals earning over 150,000 is just under $5 billion. Now, you can also do this in reverse, where you're saying that I want to know the salaries paid out to individuals making less than 150,000. So all you do is, in this example, go into your formula bar and just change the greater than to a less than, and there you go. individuals earning less than $150,000 were paid a total of $16.29 billion. That's a lot of money. The other thing I want to highlight is that the power of SUMIF is not just limited to one specific string. What if in this case I wanted to find the salaries paid out to anyone whose name started with a Steve, meaning it could be Steven, Stevenson, or any other version of the name that starts with Steve. So in this case, I'm going to edit my formula, and just before the second double quotation, I'm going to put an asterisk, which acts as a wildcard. So any name or any string featuring this set of criteria will be matched. There you go. Now you can see that anyone that has a name starting with Steve is earning combined $154 million. Now let's move on to my next example, in which we're going to use my TD Bank dividend data. Okay. Now in this case, I'm not looking for anything particular like I was with Steve or Stevenson or a sector. Okay, so let's say I want to sum up all the dividends paid out since January 1st, 2017. In order to do this, let's go ahead and press equals, type in SUMIF, a range. My range is the payment date because I'm looking for dividends paid since Jan 1, 2017. So let's go ahead and select this range. My criteria, I'm going to again type in greater than. However, notice I'm not putting in the double quotations, and this is because I want to show you guys what happens that if you miss out on those double quotations, what happens. So let's go type in greater than Jan 1, 2017. Oops. And my sum range is the dividend. Close bracket, and watch what happens if I hit enter. We have an error. It's because Excel doesn't recognize that this greater than is a string. So in order to rectify the situation, we will put a double quotation here, and now because again this is a date and not a number, I need to put a double quotation here, and at the end of 2017 another double quotation. Notice when I put the double quotations, my ranges are highlighted. Now if I hit enter, we get $10.17. Let's verify this. So if I go back here and look up my payment date, greater than Jan 1, so it's starting from here all the way up to the top here. What do I have? $10.17, and that matches exactly what I have over here. Now, what if I, instead of 2017, I want to do 2018? Again, quick way to copy our formula, paste it, and just change 2017 and put an 8, and there you go, $7.82. Now let's look up dividends paid before a certain date. Again, very easy to do. Once you have this set up, copy, paste. Instead of changing the date this time, we're going to change the sign to less than, and change the 8 to 2017, and there you go. $23.22 in quarterly dividends were paid before Jan 1, 2017. And that's it, guys. I hope you found this useful. Learned how to use SUMIF. Again, really neat formula to sum up values with certain criteria. And if you use this asterisk sign, you can again treat your criteria as a wildcard to capture more of your data. And that's really it, guys. That's SUMIF in a nutshell. If you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please consider hitting that like button at the bottom of this video. And consider hitting that subscribe button to see more videos like this and upcoming tutorials. And last but not least, please share this video if you know someone who can really up their Excel game with my tutorials. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.